Hello and welcome back to the Align Mind Body Show. I'm very excited about today's episode, of course, because I have an awesome guest, Alyssa from Energy Mitigates Pain, and we actually share a lot of the same philosophy. She's an amazing instructor. She believes in pain-free movement and mobility, and I think she has some pretty cool tricks up her sleeve. And she's actually training me today, so I'm very excited about this. And yeah, I just want to go ahead and introduce Alyssa, and she'll give us a little breakdown of what we will be doing today in her flow.
Yeah, so I specialize in mobility and pain-free strength training. Today we're going to focus on hip mobility in particular. So I like to say by the time you're done, you're going to feel like you have butter hips. And you're just going to be connecting with your hips in a way that you haven't before. It's very joint-based and focused very technically on how we're going to connect in general to our external rotation. And yeah, so it's exciting.
Sounds really good. I'm excited. So I hope you guys are too. Stay tuned. We're going to be on the floor. All you'll need is a yoga mat. And when we get back, we'll get started. All right, we're ready.
All right, so to start, we're going to go through basic movement of the hip. It's just going to be taking your hip through a full range of motion. You're going to go on your hands and knees. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And just aligning here, you're going to take a nice inhale, a nice exhale, and just get your ribs to set down and get some core activation here. So the whole point of CARs, or controlled articular rotations, is that we are isolating the movement of the hip. So we'll start with the hip that's closest to the camera over there, and you're going to start to lift it out almost like a fire hydrant type movement. Yep, there you go. So you're going to pause there. You're going to feel your side of your butt moving. I'm going to put my hand here to give you feedback. You may feel your core starting to really work for you, your upper body. You're going to start to rotate and kick this ankle up, yep, towards the sky. Good. Now keep exploring that rotation as you kick up towards the sky.
Wait, why am I shaking so much?
Yeah. Good. Now you're going to pause here. Now you're in extension here. You feel your top butts working here, and then you're going to come back down towards the floor, and this is your halfway point. You can reset. You can set it down, reset your core. Take another inhale and an exhale. The point of these is to be really, really slow and controlled, hence controlled articular rotation. Now you're going to kick back up again, so reverse it. Come back down, go the other way. So how you just came back around, we're going to reverse it. So if you donkey kick up towards the sky, yep. So heels leading, pause here, glute all the way here. Now you're going to bring it out to the side and rotate, basically just reversing exactly what you just did to bring it around. You should feel all this spicy stuff in the outside of your hip. You should be on fire in that.
Yeah, it's shaking.
Good, and then come back down all the way to the floor. Relax, that was only one rep. So we're going to do 3 of those. Take another inhale and an exhale. Make sure you brace your core. That's the most important part. And just notice if any other things try to kick on, whether you're leaning all the way into this hip, and you're going to start to then bring that knee out to the side, almost like, I like to say like you're peeing on a fire hydrant, whatever clicks and cues for you. Start to rotate, kick that ankle up towards the sky. I like to use food cues a lot. I'll say like rotisserie chicken, and then come back down towards the floor. Good.
Reverse, right?
Yep, reverse. Keep that core nice and strong, kicking up. Now bring it out to the side and rotate. More rotisserie chicken. Feel all that spicy stuff in the outside of your hip. And then come back down. Good. Take another breath. Last rep here. Out to the side, pee on the fire hydrant. Good. Start to rotate up towards the sky. Still finding that height and then coming down towards the floor. Good. Reset your core if you need to here.
And back.
And back up. Yep, there you go. Out to the side. And back down towards the floor. Rest. Take a breather. If you need to take a breather before we hit the other side, go ahead and come off your wrists. It can be really intense. If you feel like your wrists are like kind of clunking out on you, you can put fists down into the floor. If you want to demo that, you can do this to show. But yeah, so because it can be intense being in this position for so long if you're not used to it. So when you're ready, set your core. Knees are under your hips, hands are under your shoulders, and we'll start the other side. Go ahead and lead out. Yep, that fire hydrant. and start to kick the ankle up and rotate, still finding that height at the top through extension. Good. And then come back down towards the floor. Again, we're just exploring every part of your glute and your hip rotation as you go through this. Good. And it will feel way more intense than you expect it to for no reason at all. Come back down.
Side's a little better.
Yes, there you go. And you might notice one side feels different than the other as you go through it, and that's okay. We're naturally asymmetrical as humans. So one side may have more hip mobility than the other, and then come back down. And once you, just get the hang of the rotation in general, it's kind of like riding a bike. But at first it may feel like you have no idea what's happening, or like once you get into a certain range, your body feels confused, and that's okay too. And the shakiness also just comes from you're not used to it. So once you get more reps of this in and you practice it more, it becomes more like a second nature. Come back down. Yeah.
Okay, one more. We'll
Laugh
be
through the-
shaking, guys.
Laughing through the pain too. The
Yeah.
spiciness.
Can tell this weakness there
Yeah.
happening in that range of motion.
Good. And then come back down. Relax. Take a little breather. So cars, we're just taking you through your full range of motion, warming up for the other things that we're going to get into. So we're going to go into what I call a 90-90 position. I'll just demo it real quick. You can face up to the camera there. This leg is going to be at a 90-degree angle here, and then this back leg is also going to be at the 90. We're not really focusing on the back leg as much right now, so if you cramp up just being in this position, then you can bring it forward a little bit. But if you're fine bringing it back and you're mobile enough, like Nanette here, you're fine. You're not cramping up, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. So you're fine to keep that there at 90, and then bring this knee in so that you're more here, and then bring that shin angle more towards the camera. Yep, perfect. Okay, so here, we're going to be focusing on this hip right here. When we start, I want your hand, one hand here and one hand there. So you're staying nice and tall through your spine. The focus is going to be on this glute for the front leg. Actually, bring this in just a little bit. Perfect. So you're going to think about hinging your torso forward by pulling this hip back into the socket. So you're pulling length through this glute and bringing your torso forward to bring the length there. You should feel a nice stretch. Once you do, you're going to push through the floor or my hand through this knee, and you're going to propel yourself back up with the glute. So it's an interesting sensation because you're like, wait, I'm like bending and hinging my torso forward, but my glute's stretching.
Still working.
Yeah. So we're going to take that. We're going to do 5 of those reps where you pull your hip back to stretch and fold forward. Really lengthening through the glute. And you can bring your head with you because we want to stay long. Once you feel like you've reached your end stretch, you're going to push through the side of this knee and then come back up by activating out of that stretch that you just got. And it should feel rather intense on that glute.
Yeah, it does. You can feel the tension
Yeah.
and stretch at the same time. So it's
Perfect.
like a tension and length combination, which is really good for you actually. It helps to me. Like when you release it, it actually stays in that length since you're doing the both combinations of that stretch and activation. So stretches are not always passive, it's not really the best. It's when they're more active stretches like this.
Exactly.
It gives you much better results.
Exactly.
Push down to come up.
Yep. Good. And think of keeping your hands here. If you want to float your hands, maybe even take this like airplane type. Yeah. So you're a little bit more advanced where you can leave your hands off the ground, but usually when people start, they'll have to keep their hands on the ground.
Should just turn 90-90 into a workout.
Yeah. Yep.
I told her I was going to do commentaries on this one.
Give me all the commentary.
Body commentary. Yeah, my glute feels like it's getting a nice stretch and work. So
Perfect.
all right, external rotation too. So
Good. Big push up. And I like to coordinate the breath with this too. If you like to inhale on that pull as you're hinging, and then exhale as you get that exertion pushing through the floor. Nice. Last one. Good. Pulling back towards the wall behind you. And then big push coming up. Nice. Switch sides.
And it feels good. It feels good on the hips. It feels like it's like lifting my joints a little bit. Like my joints aren't collapsing into the stretch. Like when it's more passive, it feels more like, you know, engaged.
Right. Like if you were like just going in a random pigeon.
You know.
This is like a good carryover to that.
This side's a little bit different, so.
Yeah, bring this in a little bit if you can, towards that way. Perfect. And then bring the shin angle up a little. Same thing.
Arms out.
Yep. Go ahead and fly. I'll hang out on this side. Good. You notice a difference on this side?
Absolutely. It's much more uncomfortable here in terms of a little bit more painful on this side.
Does it feel tighter?
Yeah. Yeah. Feels like it's always a little sore.
Good.
So now it's like bringing out, like, you know, it's really working on that I usually feel that soreness. Like it's massaging it, you know.
Yeah, so when you find a space that your body's not really used to getting into, try to breathe through the space that you're finding. And it's going to be, it feels like it's resistant at first. And then by the second set, maybe you feel different.
Yeah, for sure, it's loosening up.
Good. Good. Deep breath. Big push through the floor.
We got our guys trying it out back here. You gotta get a camera on them, so record with their phone. Oof. Super sore this side.
Yeah, one more.
Sweating.
You
Sweat
should be.
is normal.
Yeah. If you weren't sweating, I'd be concerned. You should have started sweating during the cars.
Yeah, I did, you know. It's just intensifying now.
Yep. Mobility intensifies.
90 revamped. Oof.
Good. Take a little break.
Yeah. Better.
While you take your little break, we'll switch sides and do the other side again. Reflections, what's coming up?
Feels good.
Yeah.
I felt that left side really stretch. Like it's hard for me to get into that. I'm pretty flexible too, but I said I can kind of like super passively get into my range of motion, but to actively do it is way different. Like you get into so many more fibers that way. So,
Right.
okay, this is set up like this.
Yep.
Lining up against the mat, right?
Yeah,
Kind
that's
of
so that's a cheat right there.
Yeah.
It's, you can line up to something that has a an angle to it. There you go. All right. 5 more. So the second set should feel like you're a little bit more open.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I'm really looking for here with you, because you already are so mobile, is that you just, as long as you're getting your full range, yeah, that your spine stays long. And you are. But the challenge for you, because you are so mobile, is being active.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is challenging you at your end range, which is why mobility is so good for already mobile people. Good. I'd say the last piece that I would just keep clean is keep this strong and stacked. Good. That way you stay a little bit more pure to your hip. Last one on this side. Nice.
Much better.
Yeah. It's
See the other
crazy.
side, yeah.
And then bring this foot out a little bit towards me. And then bring this leg over more. Yeah.
It's like it's different.
Good, big pull.
Better.
It's also crazy how fast you can feel a difference. Good.
It's more open.
Yeah.
Getting rid of that soreness is definitely something that's going to be on my to-do list.
90
Revamp.
hip stretch. Yeah.
Nah, with the extra cueing, with the flair.
Yeah. Good. So I like to throw my little flair on this right now. Like before you started, your hips were a little bit more like solid refrigerated butter. Now we're melting it, you know, with every set. We're just melting the butter. Good. One more.
One more.
Good.
Felt good.
Take a rest.
Nice. Feels good.
Give the hips a little bit of a break. Some windshield
Starting
wiper.
to feel, you know, buttery.
Good. Good. So we're going to actually stay in that 90-90 position.
Okay.
Surprise.
Okay, I'm back. She
So
said external rotation, so here we
Yeah.
are.
this is, and you know what, this front leg is what's really has been the focus, but now we're going to throw in this back leg. And I want you to bring this back a little bit more and bring this out a little bit and then bring that over. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing where we push into the floor with this leg. We're going to start with that. You can have your hands flying because that's normally where you are, but if you're at home and you're struggling to even stay up here, make sure you have your hands just lightly on the floor to support you to stay tall. So as long as you're keeping a tall spine, you're going to press through the floor with that knee. So you're going to activate. Now you're going to open this one up. So you're going to bring this open, like you're driving your knees apart. So you're going to feel this and that, and you're just opening. You'll probably feel maybe a stretch on the inside here. Hold that for 3, 2, 1, and then bring it back down. So these are just half openers in the 90-90 position. You might feel a little crampy.
He's looking at me like, you're on your own today.
Anything that comes up,
Okay.
feel free to just
Feels
let it.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
it feels good. I feel like my end range for sure.
Good.
So I feel the end range. So press this one down. I put the block here to kind of like remind me to just keep and press this one.
So you're going to press
And then
and drive this one open. So if you drive into my hand, yep, 3, 2, 1, and then come back down and actively. Yeah.
shaking.
Yeah. Does it feel
Okay.
crampy?
No, it feels good. It's
Good,
not,
good.
It's just shaking like crazy. It's uncontrollable. But those are the new muscles and the ones that haven't been opened and stretched. So
Yeah.
it's just responding to the new sensations it's feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, again.
Again.
Press down. Lift up.
Good. Hold that for 3, 2, 1, and then bring it back down.
And you say light on the hand so you can stay active, not like slump down, right?
Yes, exactly. Because the hands are just there to make sure you're keeping your spine tall. They're not to take the brunt of the load that we want to keep in your hips.
Okay.
Good. Hold that for 3, 2, 1, and bring it back down. And then on this portion where you're bringing it back down, think of actively pulling it towards the floor. So we're staying active through everything. You're not just
letting
dropping
it go.
it.
Gotcha.
Good. Driving the knees apart, front leg press into the ground. 3, 2, 1. Good. Last one.
I think I can do this one like this now.
Yeah. Feel a little bit more stable. And open, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I added some time on that last one.
There we go.
Switch sides.
Yeah, let's see this how it behaves here. Legs can be so unique in their length and tension relationship. So some sides are easier to work. One side is easier to work with, the other maybe. So, all right, you fix me up, boss.
All right, so bring this out a little bit, bring that over a little bit. Yeah. All right.
So I would say it's like really lined up with the hip right here.
Yes. So we're looking at that 90, and then bring this back a little bit. We're looking for 90 degrees straight out from each hip. So the knee's in line with your hip,
Okay.
and then the ankle's in line with your knee.
I see it.
That's the true 90-90.
Yeah, I see it. Okay. Yeah, I see it back here. Perfect. Looks like good alignment to me. All right.
Ready?
I think so. Yeah.
Take a nice, take a nice inhale.
Breath.
Press and drive. Exhale, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And actively bring it back down.
Okay.
Inhale, press and drive. Open up, press into my hand. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down.
Post contraction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, oh my God, what's happening?
All right. I mean, I'm sure they're like, oh, she's shaking. Because they always see me doing the teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready?
It's good stuff. I like this. This is awesome. So great for, like, if you're very athletic and you're a cheater, this is totally, like, yoga teachers should totally be doing this type of mobility.
Yes. 100%.
Ernie, you gotta work it.
Can't recommend it enough.
Okay, press, lift.
Yep. Hold. 3, 2, 1, and bring it back down.
More.
2 more here. You got this. Press. 3,
Better. I can
2.
lift it up better now.
1. Good.
Better.
Last one.
Pressure, your pressure.
Yeah.
Release it quite a bit.
It's a feedback mechanism. So I'm kind of like helping you feel into what you actually have activation into. Just like, it was like, whoa.
Okay. Ready.
Last one.
All right.
Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take a rest. Yeah, so that feedback that I give you just basically is like, gives you an external cue.
On the back, honestly. Feels like my back was unraveled through my hips.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Your hips are directly supporting your back. Once you
Yeah.
open those up.
Much better. It does feel better. I will say this.
So we're going back into that position again.
Again?
Again.
90-90. Okay. I gotta name this one the 90-90 because this is good.
This is, basically like a 90-90 death class, like for your hips, but in the best way.
Golfers can really benefit from 90-90.
100%. Okay, so we'll take that a step further. We just did 90-90 hip stretch.
Okay.
We just did 90-90 half openers. Now we're going to do some full openers. So this one is taking what we just did another step further.
Cool. Awesome.
Same principle. Staying nice and tall through your core. Your hands may need to support you through this one as you go. So just make sure you keep them in contact with the ground, and you'll walk them over, and I'll walk you through. So drive that knee into the ground. So you're going to press like we just did. Now you're going to drive this side open again, just the same. So keep this down. You're going to drive this open. Yeah. And you're going to keep opening. Keep driving them apart. You're going to end up facing me. So you're basically opening through. Yep. This hand will walk over. Yep. And you're going to end up in this like bear sit position. Yep. Keep going as far as you can to where you're like now just in this like bear sit like this. So you're like this once that leg comes over because you're completely transition. Yep.
Okay,
keep
so
going.
now we go roll the other way.
Yep.
But slow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So now you're here, and now you're going completely into the other direction. Yeah. Bring that hand over. Perfect.
And then transition.
Yep. So that's the full transition.
Okay.
Reset yourself. Make sure that your knee, because you get a little wonky once you transition over.
So just always kind of reset yourself, right?
Yes.
Ankle in line with me. And then this hip. All right.
And then same thing. Drive that side down. Drive this knee open. And now you're driving the knees apart as much as you can, as far as you can until you get into.
This one is far, and then it kind of like.
Yes, you kind of have to.
Got you.
Yep. And then once you're in the bear sit, you're driving knees apart as much as you can. You can even take pauses here. And then you'll really feel the adductors opening up. And then you're driving that knee down, driving this knee down with the inside of your leg.
Just.
Sweating?
Feels cool. Feels like my femurs are rotating in my hip socket quite a bit.
Good.
So, all right. So now press, lift,
Drive. Yep.
drive this open as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Start rolling here.
Perfect.
Pause.
And now you're really, really taking yourself to your end range through here.
Yeah, but without the other ones, it'd be impossible. So that's why we were warming up with these other ones before. I'm sure that's your master plan. Yes.
Exactly. I had it planned the whole time.
Okay.
And you'll see a lot of this, you know, on Instagram and like honestly butchered up because
Yes, I can tell.
people are moving through their spine. They're not actually staying pure to their hips.
Yeah, and they're not doing the active pressure and the action tension, like the active tension.
The tension is
The
what
tension is what's going to make the difference. Is the passiveness is forget about it. Okay. And even like doing this, like taking your time and doing it slow, really lets you like rotate in that socket. If you go too fast, you're going to bypass.
And I always like to
full
say
rotation.
that, you know, if you're going to do this with intention and full intention and connection, going that slow is absolutely necessary, because if you go faster, you're wasting your time. So if you're going to take more time to do it,
Press,
you're going to get more out of it.
press, lift. Oof, now I feel the stretch and the work on the inner thigh.
Good. Yeah. And as you're accessing more of your external rotation, it's getting that stretch.
Ooh, that left hip, clunk, clunk. That's the one that was...
So it's little clicks and pops?
Yeah, but that's the one that was all sore, you know? It's like always like a subtle constant sore, so I think it's moving. You're
Good.
getting the femurs moving.
That's my job. Good. Last one coming back. Big drive into the floor. Open. Really challenge how much you're getting the knees to open and drive apart. And then transition over.
Cool.
Good.
Never have I ever done 90-90s like this in my life.
Take a rest.
All right.
Let the hips just marinate in that
Feels
for a
great. Feels good. Back feels really good. You know, definitely a good way to unravel the hips and fascia lines in the lower body, which of course is going to help you release that low back. So back feels pretty good, honestly. Hips feeling good too, and back is feeling pretty awesome right now.
Do you tend to have any low back tightness?
Can't tell, you know?
Yeah.
But it just feels much looser now. I feel more my hips when I feel the soreness. You know, I take a bigger, like, brunt of soreness and tension, but maybe I can feel my low back. Now it feels extra good. All the junk is gone. So, is this it? Any more tricks up your sleeve?
Oh, no, I have more tricks. I definitely have more tricks. So after that, so we just did a lot of like mobility, joint specific, range of motion specific. We can end that with a simple strength exercise. So again, blending, as you know, mobility training is strength training. It's just what's your intention.
Exactly.
Taking things through full range of motion. We're going to do a simple isometric split squat.
Split squat.
Yeah. So you're just going to stand up. This be a good finisher. There's two finishers actually.
There we go.
So the first one will actually, I'm going to swap it. We'll do a sumo squat iso hold. So the sumo squat iso hold, you will take, and just a demo before you go, you're going to just scoot your feet out super wide because we focus so much on your external rotation.
Yes.
And you're going to have your hands here, here, however you want to, and then you're going to sit into your deep sumo squat where you're then driving your legs apart like we just did, feeling the adductors, feeling the glutes. So you're keeping firm, big toe, pinky toe, heel, hold, good. And you're driving knees apart just like we did in all that work. Not with your hands though, keep your hands out of it. You're using your glutes to fire that up, driving out. You're feeling the adductors, and you're just holding this for as long as you can. You're just gonna burn until you can't
That's
anymore.
why I like her, because she always makes things, she makes things hard.
Simple but hard. Super simple. Go till you
right.
can't anymore. Push
Hold
yourself.
the squat with me, so hold it. It's
Keep
got 30
holding.
second squat.
Who's gonna win? When you think you can't hold anymore, keep holding. Exactly.
Dying right now. Okay.
Go until you drop. That's it. That had to be close to a minute. I didn't time you, but the goal is like 60 seconds.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is extremely fun.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed this. This is incredible. And she revamped the 90-90. She made all the other 90-90s look like babies. So go ahead and check it
matured.
out.
They
Give it
grew
a
up.
try. Do it every day. Athletic or not, work on it. And we'll see you for the next one. Thank you so much, Alyssa.
You're welcome.
Where can people find you? Tell me.
So on Instagram, I am at LissyCat, and also my professional is emp.coach. I also have a TikTok that's LissyCat and emp.coach, and my website is www.emp.coach.
Yeah, we're going to put all the links in the description, so make sure to tap in and hit her links, follow her, check her out.